In this video, I will introduce the different philosophical views in relation to the environment. First, let us define environmental philosophy. Environmental philosophy is the branch of philosophy that is concerned with the natural environment and the humanity's place within it. So it is the discipline in philosophy that studies the moral relationship between human beings and nature, as well as the value and moral status of the environment and its non-human contents. So the major issues tackled by environmental philosophers are humanity's role in the natural world, the interaction between nature and human activities, and humanity's response to environmental challenges. So most views on environmental philosophy emphasize on the role humans play in causing environmental changes. Other views, however, recognize that the changes in the environment are part of a larger interplay among organisms and ecosystems on the planet. Here are the different beliefs about the relation of man and the environment. First, there's the anthropocentrism. It is the belief that humans are central and most significant species on the planet. This view believes that humans are considered the primary cause and that they drives the changes in the environment. Next would be deep ecology, which sees that the natural world as being maintained by the interrelationship among living organisms and that every being on the planet is dependent on each other for survival. This view regards humans' interference as a significant threat to the natural world and all living beings. The next view is the Gaia hypothesis, which suggests that non-organic elements in the planet play a significant role in maintaining balance in the environment as they interact with living organisms to regulate the various systems that enable life to continue thriving on Earth. Also, there's the theological view. It holds that mankind is intended to live in harmony with all creation. Genesis 1:26-28 says that God created man and granted him dominion over all creatures and tasked him to subdue the earth. No, you should not misunderstand that by dominion it does not necessarily mean exploitation and destruction, but rather as we have dominion over all creatures and nature, we have the obligation to take care of the nature and the environment, enhance it, and contribute to its growth and development. After all, there's a saying, a greater power comes greater responsibility. Also, Pope John Paul II recognized man's lordship over nature as a ministerial act, a continuation of the work of the Creator, and such mission must be exercised with wisdom and love. So the varied philosophical views all regard man as an active participant in the environment and the keys to nature's thriving or ruin. However, current philosophical discussions coupled with scientific studies point to the increasing negative impact of human activities on the condition of our planet. There's pollution, waste are everywhere, there's depletion of natural resources, global warming, and climate change. Because of the growing environmental concern and evidence of the impact of human activities on nature, philosophers have advocated for the application of ethical concepts to environmental concerns. So environmental ethics emerged in the 1970s, advocating for human responsibility and action on environmental issues. This ethical perspective highlighted key ideas that combine philosophical, pragmatic, and theological perspectives. First, all non-human elements of the world, such as animals and natural resources, have intrinsic value and should be preserved. Second, environmental preservation is beneficial to humans because it will continue to provide for both present and future generations. Finally, man has a responsibility to protect the planet that God has entrusted to him. So, environmental ethics has resulted in the development of various views. There's the social ecology, and the social ecology applies an ecological and ethical approach in analyzing society and sees a relationship between social problems and environmental problems. The growing concern with climate change by a number of views and concepts such as climate ethics and climate justice. And they consider climate change as a significant ethical, social, and issue. Next, these views were greatly influenced by the concepts of environmental justice, which refers to the fair distribution of environmental benefits as well as the burden of meeting environmental challenges. Environmental justice advocates emphasize equity and meaningful community and government participation in addressing environmental challenges and developing and implementing environmental policies. So, another important development in environmental awareness is environmental aesthetics. This perspective originally discussed concepts of beauty in nature but has recently been increasingly influenced by environmental concerns. In the 20th century, environmental aesthetics began to discuss natural beauty in the context of maintaining environmental order and balance. Knowledge about nature will not only enable man to appreciate nature's inherent beauty, but it will also help him relate more effectively with the environment. Significant social movements that were inspired by increased environmental awareness include environmental protection and conservation movement, animal rights, and green politics. So activism and increased organized action are indication of the growing awareness of environmentalism in today's society. So environmentalism has also become an important issue in international politics. Government and international organizations have made efforts to discuss environmental issues, and they formulated plans to address them, such as the 1997 Kyoto Protocol and the celebration of Earth Day, which started in 1970.